Okay, so in terms of the skin folds, right, we have two kinds that we're going to be using here. We have the cheap ones that you can get on Amazon for like $10, $15. If you are in this field and plan to be in this field for a while, this is a really good investment, right? It's a great tool to be able to get a measure that's very important for any sort of training situation, right? Typically when we start training somebody, we want to have some sort of baseline understanding of where they are so that we can show them where they're at after they've been in the program with us. And a lot of times body composition is going to be one of the more effective ways of being able to show somebody that. So if you don't have access to, for example, like some sort of a biometric impedance analysis or like an arm run or one of the more expensive tools of equipment, a lot of times this is really all you need. This is great. This is a great tool, you know? The only thing that comes with this is the learning curve with actually doing this. There is quite a learning curve with doing skin fold assessments, right? The biggest limitation that I was telling you guys in the other room is always gonna be user error, right? A lot of times it won't even be the person. It'll be the person that's actually doing it, right? One of my old mentors told me, I guess, I don't know where he learned it from, but it typically takes about like 1,000 trials to be like really proficient at doing these. I say that, but you get the hang of it after a second or two of doing it, but when it becomes reliable and like you're able to get the same measure consistently over time, it takes practice. You know, this is a tool that takes practice of doing, right? So we have these that are the really cheap versions, are like 15 bucks, and they work great. They pinch a little more, like it'll hurt a little bit, but we also have the more expensive versions that are metal, right? So these are also going to be our large skin fold calipers that we're able to use. So for example, if I was going to do the tricep measure, again, if I'm doing this correctly, I'm measuring my sights and I'm able to get my number correctly. Yeah. So two different ones. We have a few of each, so you guys will be able to use as many as you please. I think we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the metal ones, or sorry, 4 of the metal ones. So we'll be in some groups. Probably groups of, how many do I have? 12. Probably groups of 3, I think works. 4 groups of 3. Any more than that, probably just take a little bit longer. And then the rest of you will probably use these, or you can switch and use however you please. Yeah. Let me get one of you guys' lab manuals so I can go through this correctly, please. Anybody's? Thank you. So again, we have 7 sites that we do for the skin fold measures. You can go in order. Typically, we'll go like in the same order as we do this. We want to do this multiple times just because we never want to believe that like our first one is our perfect rep, right? Now, I would typically do this twice, and if I get the same number both times, I'll stick with that. If I did it once and I got 17, and if I did it again and I got like 9, I'll probably do it a third time on that site or throughout and just average out the 3 numbers. You're gonna do the averaging out anyways, but if you get if you do the 2 trials and one of them is like 12 and the other one is 13, that's okay. You know, like you can probably skip through it and go through it again. You really want to be like precise and do everything good as you should. Do the 3 trials and then average out the 3 numbers. Yeah? Okay. So first one we're gonna do is a tricep. Again, doing these correctly, we want to make sure we're measuring our sights correctly. So we are going halfway between the acromion and the olecranon process, the shoulder and the elbow. So when we do this, we want to typically standardize a side. Most of the times we're going to do the right side when we do this. So we go for the acromion, right? So this kind of bony part of the back of the shoulder and the elbow. So I'm measuring. Then we'd have a pen that I can just steal from them right now. That way. So back of the acromion, back of the elbow. So we're going 13 and we're going to go 6.5. So just to mark right there. And again, this is technically a vertical fold. So when I go from the side, you want to get a good pinch. Don't just do like, right? We're trying to get subcutaneous fat. We're not trying to grab muscle, but we do want to grab subcutaneous fat. So you will have to, if you think you're grabbing too light, you probably are. Now, if you think you're grabbing too much, you also probably are, right? So there's gonna be like a halfway point to where I'm like here, and like right around here where I have subcutaneous fat, yeah? You will pinch the person. It may hurt them for a sec. Just tell them to suck it up. Okay? So I pinch right around that line. Now I keep my thumb there, and I want this to go over my thumb into the spot. I'm going to hold my thumb there, read. So this one's 19. I let go of this, and I let go of this. Don't do this. Right? Sorry. Right? So I would have got a 19 for that one, and I would have written down 19 for the triceps. Maybe I'll turn that off. The next one would be, I believe, the chest, right? So this is going to be the biggest one that's different between men and female. Obvious reasons, right? So for this one, we are going, for men, halfway between the, I believe it's the shoulder, the anterior axillary line, and the nipple, right? So anterior axillary line would be around here, and right between the nipple. So we're going the halfway point. For women, it's going to be 1/3 of that way, right? So obviously closer to the outside. This is going to be a diagonal fold, right? So we are going, I believe it's this way. Here, same idea. And I would write down 7 for that one. Cool? Obviously be as precise as you can for these, but we are in a teaching setting, so don't worry about it too much. The next one would be the midaxillary line. So our person's going to put their arm on our shoulder. Oh, you are sweating, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Go grab your shirt and like wipe it down. Like grabbing all his sweat. Like, ugh.
All right.
All good. All right, so this one is going to be either a vertical or horizontal fold, whichever one is easier for you. We're going mid-axillary line. So right around the line of the sternum. Right here. So I'll grab here, come over, and I would write down 11. Cool. Next one would be subscapular. So the person's going to turn around. Some people it might be harder to find the scapula. So one thing that you can do is just ask them to put their hand behind their back, and you're going to see their wing come out. Right? So we're going about 1 to 2 centimeters or 1 to 2 inches kind of like diagonal towards it. So right around this area, he could put his arm back normal. We're going to be right around this area here. So this is going to also be a diagonal fold. Typically when we do our folds, we go in line with kind of the fascia in line. I don't want to go like in the way that it wouldn't feel comfortable, right? So this is going to be an easier grab for me. So right here, I'm going to pinch, good. You can go under on this one if you want, or right behind kind of like your thumb. This will be 13, and I let go, right? And I'm writing these down as I go. Next one would be suprailiac. So it's gonna be the front. I'm gonna ask him to find his ASIS right here, this bony part. Don't just probe people, ask them before you do that. We're gonna go 1 to 2 centimeters above that. So right around this area right here. Also a diagonal fold, so I'm gonna pinch, and I would write down 8, right? Next one being the abdominal, right? So find his belly button. We're going to go to the right side about 1 inch towards the right. This one, I believe, is, again, also optional, vertical or horizontal. The traditional is horizontal, but you can also do vertical for this one. This one may be very hard to grab on some people, right? Don't feel bad if you can't grab this one on people. As individuals start to get more overweight, this one will also be very, very difficult to get on people. So don't feel bad, right? So we go here. We'll go a vertical fold, for example. I'll measure. 12. If I was going to do a horizontal fold, same thing, I would measure. Yeah? Then we get to the thigh. All right? The thigh is one that you also have to take into account something, so I'm going to have you roll your shorts up. Cool. So we are going to go the halfway point between the proximal border of the patella and the inguinal crease. So what I mean by inguinal crease, he's going to lift his leg up. Nice 90 degrees right there. You can let this go. So, right where the crease is, to the end of the patella. Right, so I'm going here. 17. What's half of 17? 18.5. Oh. 17. What's half of 17?
8.5.
8.5. Right, so I would write my thing right there. The next thing we have to do is make sure that the leg is in a resting state. So, he's going to lean towards his left side, leave his leg light. And I'm going to get a vertical fold on this one. This one is also going to be pretty difficult to get on some people, so just be mindful of that, yeah? Where'd I go? Right here. So he's leaning on his left side. His right leg is light, so a lot of times it'll kind of just be floating. I'm gonna get a good grip as I can on this, come behind, and let go. So that would be 25. Cool. Again, some might be easier than others to get. Just be mindful of the population you're working with and understand that you will do it multiple times and you'll get better as you do it. Don't feel bad if the grip starts to slip. Don't feel bad if you pinch too hard. If you feel like you're not pinching hard enough, just pinch harder. Cool. Any questions on any of the sites? Good. There are other sites that are used in other, formulas, right? So there's different calf sites that we use. Some people will use bicep sites. Some people will use both sides as measures. Some people will use less sites. So a common 3-set measure would be like a tricep, iliac, and here, or like a subscap, abdominal, and thigh, like these kinds of things, right? So we'll be doing the 7 sites. So all the ones that I pinched that you can clearly see on his red body. And then just mindful of that. So let's get groups of 3, preferably guys working together. That's not an option, sorry. Girls, let's get like groups of 3. There's different rooms that you can use for this. So we have the biochem room. We have Dr. Perry's office that you can go into. You guys can also use, actually Way is over there, so don't go over there. Biochem room or Dr. Perry's office works fine. If you want to go into the closet, you can too. Guys, you can do whatever you want. Cool. Good. Let's get our groups. Yeah, excitement. Woohoo.
One person, one of the other. Then it's 4.